So he's trying to drive force down into the ground, okay? Because his orientation is going to pull him away from the medial foot contact. So what he's got to do is he's got to translate some measure of mass over the inside edge of the foot to drive internal rotation into the ground.
All right, back to baseball.
I'm shocked by that. Huh.
But this time it's not a pitcher, it's a position player. So I have a wide, he's a right-handed hitter.
Yep.
And he's getting some crash in that back knee as
Yep.
he's kind of transitioning.
Okay, hang on. I literally just had a conversation about this on Sunday. Go ahead.
Okay, hopefully I'm on the right track here.
Yeah.
So just representation of pelvis, right IR 20, ER 30. Left IR 20, ER 45. SLR on the right, 45. SLR on the...
I'm sorry. Oh, straight legged. Okay, sorry.
Straight legged, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
On the left, 50. Hip flexion on the right, 90. Hip flexion on the left, 95.
Gotcha.
So when the big thing that kind of stands out to me is that right hip ER being at 30. I'm thinking as he's making the turn to get the load, he's running out of space as he's turning right. Go ahead.
Hang on one second. Are you talking about, so his knee is moving medially when he's hitting? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
like right as he's like transitioning out of the load in the back and he's starting to come forward, that knee's going earlier than what they want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so is it just that he's running out of space on that back side getting into ER? And so the knee's just a representation of trying to find more room?
Okay. So what is a knee moving medially? Okay. What is he actually trying to produce with that? So this is an active, it's not collapsing inward. He's pushing it in. What is he trying to do? What is that inward? What is that producing? Think about his okay, it's his right knee that's moving medially. Okay. What is the right foot then able to do?
Well, he's coming more to the medial edge.
Okay, keep going. So what's he trying to do?
Wait.
Manuel, say it out loud.
He's trying to pronate. He's trying to produce that internal rotation.
Right. He's trying to drive force down into the ground. Okay. Because his orientation is going to pull him away from the medial foot contact. So what he's got to do is he's got to translate some measure of mass over the inside edge of the foot to drive internal rotation into the ground so he can translate himself forward in the swing, right? Okay. So this is a strength that, you know where he's doing it. He's probably doing it at L5S1. Most likely is that where he's sort of driving that because of the knee orientation. So chances are you're getting so he's trying to get the sacrum, instead of facing away from the pitcher, he's got to get a sacrum that faces towards the pitcher so he can move in that direction. And so you're seeing the knee move medially, but chances are if you can get a view of him from behind as he is swinging the bat, I would be looking like right at L5S1 if I were you, and see what you're seeing there, because chances are that's where you're going to see this orientation where he's going to be driving anterior orientation of the right side of the pelvis forward and left and down medial. So it's going to try to be the internal rotation moment, if you will. So the IR is not coming from the hip, obviously. It is going to be coming from the L5S1. So it's the pelvic orientation. Therefore, the knee is just following what the pelvis is doing.
Okay.
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 I would also make sure that you've got a foot that can capture the middle propulsive representation. because if he can't do that, then you have an interference. And that might be, again, be why he's using this strategy, because it does move his center of mass medial to the right foot and allows him to create that downward force.
Okay.
Okay.
So so anterior orientation first, get him out of that.
You have, yeah. So that's what he's using. He's literally using that anterior orientation to buy him the down force.
Right. And then I would imagine, like, we got to get him back.
Yep. So he's trying to, so if you look at his hip measures, he's trying to get himself back, because he's pushing. It almost looks like he's got his weight too far back in his stance before delivery. He'll try to hold himself back, and then he's got to accelerate himself forward, and that's why the orientation kicks in.
I gotcha.
Okay.
Yep.
So again, it's like little, it'll probably show up in like a little bit of a glitch in his stance, like his weight's going to be too far back over the right foot, and then he's trying to catch up with the orientation. And so he's artificially trying to create the delay. So he'll be magnifying the late representation with his left side in his stance, and then he's got to sort of catch up with the anterior orientation on the right. So it's going to be moving on this really hard diagonal kind of a turn, so he can get the down force on the right leg. This is going to be a dude that I would be concerned about, like the medial knee pain, L5S1. I would also be looking at, you're probably going to be looking at like his right shoulder IR might be magnified, because he's going to use an IR strategy at the lower cervical spine as well. So he might have you might expect him to have like maybe 45 degrees of shoulder IR, and he walks in with 75, and that's not shoulder range of motion. That's going to be his neck.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: with that, he's also a guy that has a very like steep back path. Does that make sense?
It has. So okay, yeah. So hang on. So the way that you adjust the plane of the swing is usually through a trunk orientation. So if I chop you right at L5S1 and I create a hard, it'll look like a side bend, but it's actually the turn, right? So the thorax is here, and he's turning the thorax like that. So the thorax is tilting up. So he drops his back shoulder, and now his swing plane is going up.
Right.
You see it?
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.